Hello everyone and welcome back into our latest challenge on this channel, which is making a hatchback that is amazing to drive on the road and on the track at the same time. So I laid down some ground rules about the engine, the chassis, the body and everything else, so any participant that he or she wants to participate, that they should follow those rules so I can count in their cars. And yeah, so this is the video. It's Friday and we have reached the dead end of anyone that wants to participate, so no more participants. You cannot send any more cars. Any cars that I'm going to receive from now on, it will be like I'm not going to count it in. So before we start with this video, I would love to remind you, please, if you enjoy the video, remember to hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, get subscribed if you are new to the channel, and of course hit that notification bell button so you can get a notification each time I release a new video. And of course, if you want to share the video, you can of course share it. So before we start everything, I would love to tell you this will be a long video. You've already seen the time of the video, but yeah, this is not a short video, and what I'm gonna be doing here is driving each car and telling you about it on automation track from the start line here. I mean, I'm not gonna time it. I'm just gonna drive around, see how the car will handle, see if there is any kind of faults in it, and telling you what I've already seen and what I've already seen in automation game, because some of these cars have been imported from automation game all the way to BeamNG.drive, so I already know what kind of parts are in them. And some other cars which the dudes that made them sent me only the BeamNG files, so I don't know anything about the chassis or the body. So yeah, we have a mix of cars here, and unfortunately some of other cars that I tried hard, like rebooting the computer. I even deleted my automation game and reinstalled it again, and then got all of my cars backed up and tried it again, but unfortunately I could not export those cars. Every time I push the export buttons, the game kept on crashing and crashing and crashing. So yes, some of the cars didn't actually made it into BeamNG.track. That was unfortunate. So this will be a long video, I know that, but hopefully we will have some fun. So our first contender here, it's called what is it? Yes, I think this is the Fox. Let me check the name of it. And what is it? Alright, so the Fox Sport Hatchback. Alright, so the car looks as you can see, we already know the chassis, the design. We have seen this design and this matte color and these alien taillights in our previous challenge video, the rally challenge. We have seen it in some sort of an SUV driving amazingly on the track, but unfortunately this one is out of the challenge because he crossed so many rules and he ignored so many of my rules. Let's start with basics. So it's out because the body is made from fiberglass. I told you, no, don't use fiberglass or carbon fiber. Also, the engine is naturally aspirated, which is against the rules, and it's making less than 300 horsepower, 250, 60, something like this. And he's using electronic limited slip differential, which is against the rules. Also, he's using sport compound tires, carbon fiber rims, which is against the rules, and dual clutch gearbox. All these things added together, which makes it against the rules. But I'm gonna drive it because there is a huge, and I do mean a huge mistake with this car. Alright, put it in sport. We will be driving it. I mean, the car accelerates nicely, not bad. It drives well. The suspension tune is very nice. The engine is not really quiet, but not bad to use as well because it's naturally aspirated, and the RPM limit is very high, which is good also. So the problem is it's not anything of these, it's the brakes. He made a huge mistake with those brakes. They are fading so hard, and I do really mean so hard. I mean, I'm not using them fully on 100%. I'm pressing the button just like 80% or 75%, something like this, because I don't want them to fade so we don't crash. The car is very nice to drive. I mean, the speed is very good. Check out the speed. The car accelerates nicely. but the brakes, that was a rubbish thing to do, which is using tiny brakes. And using those dish rims, I mean, check out the brakes, they are smoking. Oh, that's not good, the brakes are smoking. I mean, yes, the car is very nice, it hooks to the ground because of the sport compound tires, because of the electronic limited slip differentials, but the brakes, look, no brakes, you'll crash. Look, brakes, 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 and they are on fire. The brakes are on fire, unfortunately. So yeah, this car is out for all of those reasons, and of course for the brakes. I mean, the brakes are on fire, the car is smoking. This is not good, unfortunately. So what we'll be doing next is summon another car. So this car is nice to drive, but unfortunately, no. It's actually not safe at all. So the other one is the Albatros GT. Albatros GT is a nice car, actually. I've written some notes on it. So the chassis is very good. The looks is actually nice from the front, but the rear, I mean, check it out. These are brakes, which is frankly I don't like it from the back, but for the front is actually. It's actually not bad, but so bright because of that line here. This line is actually a headlight which will turn on. So yeah, cars look somehow acceptably nice. And what else? Final drive and spacing requires a little bit of attention, and the rims, or the rear offset, we have a massive offset on the rims on the rear, and there is no brake airflow, and yeah, so it requires a little bit of attention, but so far so good. So let's turn off traction control and do a little lap with it. Tell you how it will actually. This is not out, this car is in, but unfortunately it does understeer hard. I mean, the Fox sports car that we were driving a minute ago, that car really was nice to drive, but this one understeers like really hard. So the suspension tune also needs a little bit of attention. That Fox that we were driving a little moment ago, if you can put on a very nice brake setups on it, and tweak the spacing a little bit, because there is no wheel spin at all, which is I mean, it's good, but it's boring. So a little bit wheel spin, much better brakes, and little more fixtures should make it much better. This one here, the Albatros, whatever the name of it, GT, it's a little bit heavy because it's safe, and that's what I want. I mean, I'm not asking you to build the quickest car on earth, no. I'm asking you to build a nice car to drive on the track and on the road. This one, unfortunately, does understeer hard, so you need to pay attention to your suspension setup, my friend. I'm not gonna do like a million laps, because it will take very long time. So yes, the brakes here are working perfectly, but oh my god, we're about to crash. So the suspension is actually rubbish here. So if the dude that made the Fox and the Albatros, if they can like collaborate together to make a single car, it will be a perfect car. The Fox setup, the nice looks of, I mean, the rims here are nicely done, the doors, everything is perfectly normal. So yeah, if they can collaborate together, it will be an amazing creation. I hate understeer. I mean, oversteer, you can just lay off the accelerator and it will hook, but this one, understeer, it will just continue straight forward to the wall. Alright, so far so good, right? Let's reverse a little bit and summon another car. So the Albatros is a nice car, but the understeer spoils the fun. Next one is this one, the Ariati, whatever, Gyric, weird name. And yes, this is how he sent it to me. So we have no fixtures whatsoever, no door handles, nothing. I think I don't know if it's true or not. He wants to create like a futuristic car setup. You know, no door handles. You need to press a button on the key fob, or maybe touch the door to open. Maybe. I don't know if he's going with this vision, or maybe there is like a mistake or a bug in the file that, you know, made the fixtures, you know, to go missing. Alright, so let's see what's what. Alright. Oh, it's automatic. Alright, let's see what's what. Understeer. Alright. It does drift, which is fun. If you can, I mean, if your car does understeer, but if you manage to make it to drift using the throttle, that would be really nice. The suspension is so soft. I mean, you use the handbrake a little bit, it will dip into the ground, but you can actually drift it. It's a comfy, cushy car for the road, but for the track, no. The suspension setup is also, I mean, it's better than the Albatros. The understeer, it's not really catastrophic like the Albatros, but still not bad. I mean, unfortunately, I was really looking forward for that Fox to win, but the fiberglass body, that's against the rules, and yeah, that was unfortunate. The tires are against the rules. I asked from everyone to choose hard long life tires only, no sport compound, no medium compound, no, regular crappy cheapy hard long life tires. That's what I want, because everyone, yep, off the track, because I've used the handbrake and the rear suspension dipped into the ground and made the whole car to lose control. I mean, it was fun. It's fun to lose control a little bit, especially with all-wheel drive cars, because the slide will be much more controllable. But as I mentioned, this is not an efficient car for the track. Usually when you drive a hatchback like Focus, for example, the Focus RS, the Fiesta ST, those like the Honda Civic Type R, or what else? What else you can drive these days with nice, like with the sport package for the road and for off the road. Not off the road, on the track, I mean. I mean, if you keep using the handbrake, yes, you can turn every corner, but if you are driving it like precisely, it will understeer. Oh, understeer badly. So far, no winners, unfortunately. Yeah. So put it in park because it's automatic. What else we have here? So this one is done, this one is done. Those are from our previous challenge. Alright, so we have this one also. The person who made it named it after my name, actually. So this car has let's see, double wishbone on the rear, and McPherson, no, actually double wishbone also on the front. Alright, so double wishbone suspension, front and rear, 4-cylinder engine, turbo. Alright, looks like a BMW somehow. Alright, so let's see what's what. Ah, it's a manual. Alright, let's see, first corner, not bad. Oh, no, we were bouncing the limiter. So the engine, oh, understeer. It feels slow, I don't know why. I mean, it looks nice, it looks very nice. A really nice car to look at, but oh, understeer. Oh my god, I hate understeer. We need to pay attention, my friends, to the camber, to the spring setup, and especially to the dampers. You cannot just ignore dampers. Sway bars helps really well. I mean, the roll angle of this car is perfect. It's not tilting, it's not moving, it's perfect. But the spring setup, I'm sure of this, and the camber on this car is very normal, which is not good. Makes the car understeering. I mean, you see, I have to lay off the accelerator a little bit so I can corner, because if I kept on pushing the accelerator, I'm gonna understeer and crash. Brakes are nice. The brakes are good on this car actually. Oh, understeer hard. The RPM limit is actually rubbish. I mean, 7,500 RPM. That's, well, that's very little actually. You will achieve the limit very quickly. And I think it's front-wheel drive. I'm not sure if it's front or maybe the most of the power is going to the front. I don't know. I'm gonna try and do like a burnout with it. See which tire will accelerate first. So far no good. So far so good. The car looks nice. It drives acceptably. It's a good road car. This is a nice road car. A track car, no. The engine limit, RPM limit, isn't actually helping. It's actually terminating. Gear ratios are not bad, but the RPM limit spoiled it. So let's see if it's a front-wheel drive or... Ah, it's front-wheel drive, I think. I don't know. Let's slow down the time. Yep, that's how you can make sure. Oh, it's all-wheel drive, but most of the power is going to the front. Yep, it's all-wheel drive, but most of the power is going to the front. Alright, so I'm sorry, but so far no winners. I do apologize, but no winners so far. Most of the cars does understeer, and if there is no actual winner, we have to pick one of those. So this is the car that we just driven. The Evoque 1.4 Evoque. What a weird name. Alright, so I received this car today. Purple brake calipers, light blue rims. Looks mean from the front, not bad. And please don't tell me this is a carbon fiber hood. It looks like black matte paint, but if it's carbon fiber, it will be out, my friend. Let me check something. My friend, racing intake manifold. It's not allowed, I'm sorry. Multi-link suspension on the rear, double wishbone on the front, and the engine is mounted longitudinally. Oh my god, Alright, so it does understeer. It does oversteer also. The gearbox ratios. The gearbox ratio is rubbish actually. The car looks nice, but the gearbox. Second gear 55, third gear 85. Come on, man. Fourth gear 115. That's rubbish. Sorry, but the gearbox ratios. 115, and now cannot reach 55. There is 7th gear. All right. I mean, you will be spending the whole of your life shifting. on low speeds. That's not good. Keeping shifting is actually off the brakes. The brakes are not really efficient. I'm in 4th gear, 115. That's not good. It should be 3rd gear, not 4th gear on 115. Brake balance is actually rubbish. The suspension setup is good. I like the suspension setup. The brake balance is rubbish. What else? The gearbox ratios, you know, are rubbish also. The car looks nice. Yes, it's drivable on the track and on the road, but the gearbox ruins everything, unfortunately. The engine feels strong, pulls strong. Yes, the steering is precise, which is nice. I like this car. Although I do really hate the gearbox in it, but so far we have like a nominee for a winner. We have a nominee for the winner. What's the name of this true beast here? So this is like so far a nominee. Where is it? This one? Yes, the Evoke 1.4 Evoke. Weird name. So we need to write it down as a nominee. The Evoke 1.4 or i4. Sorry, i4. Alright, there's a nominee so far. So the next participant is the Fox. We've driven that. So you see, this was his creation on the rally stage, and this is his latest creation on the challenge, on the track road challenge. This one was superb, and he actually won the rally challenge with this. Although it looks like an SUV, but it drives perfectly. This one also drives very nicely, but the brakes here are rubbish and everything else is wrong in it. Alright, so next step, the hatchback thingy. Alright, that's a little statement. Alright, so from the first look, it looks nice. A huge 2 grills, headlights, and the indicators on the side are wrong because he has set the bulbs to be, I don't know, white, so the game counted them as headlights, so he should be careful. Let's see, indicators. Yep, no indicators. So yes, these are indicators and headlights at the same time, because I think, yes, so the bulbs are orange, but the glass or the plastic cover is white, which is wrong. The game will count it as a headlight. So no indicators on the rear lights, which is against the rules. I mean, yes, you have at the front and on the side, but the rear, come on guys, you need to be careful for these details. Reverse light, we have reverse light. Alright, so let's drive this. Oh, the engine is laggy. Alright, so the gear ratios are good. Car spins the tires. Oh, suspension is so far so good. The car oversteers. Nice. Ah, I know why the engine is laggy, because he is using like a gigantic turbo with immense amount of boost. Oh, come on guys, you don't have to use so much boost. You can achieve 300 horsepower on like 15 or 14 psi boost easy. Suspension is nice, and I think there is very little amount of downforce on the front tires. The car feels unstable actually when it comes to steering. I mean, it's not bad on low speeds, but on high speeds I think we'll be drifting a little bit. Let's see. Yes, as I was saying, Oh my god, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Yep. There's no... Oh, the engine is so laggy. There is no aerodynamics on the front tires and on the rear tires. And that's no-no. That's a big no-no. When you are building a car with 300 horsepower, you need to be careful when it comes to aerodynamics. You see, there is no aerodynamics there. There is nothing pushing the car to the ground. It feels like the car is floating on high speed. Brake balance is actually not bad, but the suspension tune is perfect. Actually, it's really perfect, like the Fox car. The engine is powerful, but it's very laggy, which is rubbish. But the aerodynamics spoils everything. Come on, guys, I need a perfect car. Focus, guys. Give me like a heaven creation. Give me a nice creation. I want to nominate a winner and to say it that the winner car is this. Every time I find a perfect car that you guys build, something is spoiling it. Gearbox ratios, or aerodynamics, or a suspension tune, or car is ugly maybe, or whatever. Listen, this car is very good. Unfortunately, there is no aerodynamics and the engine is super laggy. I mean, listen, super laggy. It takes forever for the turbo to spool, and that's foot to the floor. Alright, so what is our next creation here? What is our next nominee, or our next car that we will be driving? Alright, so the hatchback thingy, well, yes, you can actually say it's a nominee. Hatchback, not bad, but laggy engine. I'm writing all of these down. No downforce. Alright, now let's try this one, the Kimball Kangaroo. Is this a rally car? I don't know, I forgot. Is this a rally car? Let me check. The Kimball Kangaroo. I think yes, that's a rally car. This is not a car for the road, but alright, so this one, we will have to try this one actually. The Leaker Eaton. The Leaker Eaton S, and I have some notes actually on the Leaker Eaton. The Leaker Eaton. Alright, so the chassis is actually very good. Looks not bad from the front, rubbish from the rear, and what else? The engine is... Ooh, the engine is rubbish actually. Too much boost, too much fuel, too much RPM, and there is a stress on the connecting rods and the pistons, unfortunately, because of that too much RPM. Final drive and spacing are rubbish. Wrong tires, yes, wrong tires, and there is a brake, some kind of brake fading. Yeah, so all of these problems are currently available with this car. It's automatic, it's front wheel drive, I think. Understeer hard. Oh my god, understeer so hard. We have an automatic gearbox, so I set it to sport mode. I'm not shifting, the ECU is shifting on its own. Oh my god, understeer. Gearbox changing its mind. Understeers hard. Wow. And the car feels slow because the engine is underpowered actually. The engine is actually, it's not making 300 horsepower, it's making less than 300 horsepower. 200 something. Which which is also against the rules. So this car will not be counted as one of the nominees. Oh, and there is no air, there is no downforce, so it's underpowered. Yes, I have to use the handbrake. Come on, car is slow. 26 psi of boost, and oh, the brakes are tiny. Because of the boost, there is so much torque but not much horsepower. You don't need torque here. You are not building a pickup truck, you are building a hatchback. You don't need torque, you need horsepower. Suspension tune is rubbish. I'm sorry to say this, I mean, I don't want to be rude, but that's the truth here. So you need to I'm talking right now with the dude who made this car. So please, if you are listening, if you want to keep the front wheel drive, tweak the spacing, tweak the final drive, and please, oh please, focus on the suspension tune and fix the engine, lower the boost, make it more efficient, more powerful than this. Yes, and the car, the front is very nice, but the rear is rubbish. Please fix that also. And if you have the time, please also change the rims. That's pretty much it, and then it will be a perfect car. But I'm sorry, it's not one of the nominees, my friend. So our next contender here is the L-Hang Polaris RS. This should be interesting. From the rear looks very sporty. From the side it's not bad, although I don't like the rims. The front, the headlights are very close from each other. They should be a little bit far left and right, with a little bit longer grille. And the bumper colors are different from the body, which is interesting. I want to check something if you don't mind. Alright, so the tires are perfect. We have a carbon fiber wing, which is against the rules, but also carbon fiber trim, window trim, I think. Is it carbon fiber? No, it's plastic. Sorry for that. So, the engine is laggy. I don't know. I really hate laggy engines. Alright, let's see gear ratios. Alright, let's see brakes. Suspension, not bad. Why you guys push in so much boost? Nearly 30 psi. Why all of this boost? I'm gonna check it out. Fifth gear, and the car doesn't want to get a move on. And if you shift down, you will hit the limiter very easy. Suspension, it's not bad, but also not good. Car understeers a little bit and oversteers a little bit. So yeah, and check it out. Foot hard to the floor, 4th gear, and car accelerates very slowly. 140, 150, 160, 170, 180. It's very slow to accelerate. Let's see, can foot hard to the floor, and can we accelerate? Can we corner? Yes, it can corner. We have active downforce, which is nice. Car is stable. Brakes are not bad. The balance isn't actually perfect. Suspension, as I mentioned, does understeers, but if you push the power a little bit early, it can oversteer. Alright. It's better than many other cars that we have already driven, but it's not bad. You can count it as a nominee. Car looks good, drives nicely, very stable at high speeds, although it's not really... Oh, the brakes are fading! Front left tires, as I mentioned, most of the cars, most of them, like 90% of all participants, all of their cars and all of their brakes are fading. Although I'm not really using the brakes too much, and they are fading. Front brakes are fading, which is rubbish. I don't like brake fades. Oh, brakes are fading in the front. Because I don't know why, because they are tiny. Mr. Polaris or whoever made this car, your brakes are very tiny. The car is huge and the ride height is rubbish. You need to lower the car so you can lower the center of gravity. What else? What else? The tires are very tiny. The rims are very small, and the brakes are even smaller. So you need to fix that. Yes, it's one of the nominees, but no, it's not gonna be a winner. I mean, it's gonna be like maybe third place, maybe, but it's not gonna win. So the Polaris RS. All right. Let's see who comes next. What car comes next? So we've driven all of these: the Polaris RS, the Liker Pulse. We've driven that? No, we've driven that, not this one. So the Liker Pulse. Do I have anything on it? The Liker Pulse. Yes, the Liker Pulse. I have some information about it. Yes. Why 4x4? That's the first thing. This is not a 4x4 car, my friend. You should write AWD, all-wheel drive, not 4x4. So the pinpoints and or the wrong things in this car are heavy chassis because it's made from steel, billet steel crankshaft on a 7,800 RPM engine, because the power peaks at 7,800 RPM and the limit is 8,200, and unfortunately the crankshaft can go all the way to 11,000 RPM. So why choosing billet steel crankshaft? What else? The octane room, you have a lot of octane room to make this engine much better. Currently it's on 93.9, so you still have 1.1 points to make this engine much more efficient, much more better. That's not good. Wrong spacing for the gearbox, and you are using, my friend, vicious limited slip differential, which is the worst limited slip differential ever to use, because the vicious limited slip differential uses some kind of silicon liquid in it that should heat up, and then it will act as a limited slip differential. So if that fluid is cold, you will have an open differential, and that fluid gets burned very easily. The differential can overheat very easily. It requires a lot of maintain to change that fluid, which is the worst option you can go with for a limited slip differential. The power distribution is rubbish. The brake failing is very much, and you are using, which is against the rules, hydromatic springs. I told you don't use hydromatic springs because it's for Bentleys and Rolls Royces only, not for road and track cars. That's against the rules, unfortunately. So this car is out of the competition, but unfortunately, I mean, everything was great in it. It looks very nice and it drives very nicely, but the rule, my friend. It's automatic. The car is very sorted, but unfortunately that's another option. Check it out, the roll angle of this car, because of the springs are not actually acting perfect, because these springs has been designed to be comfortable, not to go track racing. I mean, and the car does understeers hard. The engine feels underpowered, although it's not a bad engine except for the expensive parts which the engine actually doesn't need. The engine actually don't need those parts. But the attention to details, I mean, the logo is nice, like an armor with an L logo in it. The 4x4 is wrong. The tailgate handle is wrong. I don't know. The car is quick. The car is really quick, but no. All of these things are against the rules. The springs, the heavy chassis. Because the heavy chassis, yes, it's not against the rules to use a steel chassis, but the car itself is heavy. So when you are building a cheap regular chassis, you need to keep everything else around it a little bit lighter than usual, so you can keep a balance of, so you can keep the weight of the car balanced, not just using a heavy steel chassis and the heaviest safety equipments with a rubbish spacing on the gearbox and rubbish suspension tune. Yes, all of these things. I mean, look, understeer's hard. That really makes me sad to see really nice sorted cars, but everything else around it is just rubbish. Sorry guys, but that's the truth. Oh my god, understeer is so hard. We were about to crash into that wall. Using handbrake to take the turn. Alright, let's see if it will actually stop. So, brakes. Oh my god, brake fading. Rear brake fading. Of course, they are very tiny. Now check it out. It will spin the wheels badly. I'm sorry, but I don't like this setup on this car. It's clearly, and I'm sorry to say this, out. So let's move on with another car here. So what we have here, let's see, nimble track. Is this my car or is this someone else's car? I think someone else's car. I don't know. I'm gonna test it anyway. Yes, this is definitely not my car. So let's see what kind of engine we have. A 3-cylinder. That's not bad. A single overhead camshaft. McPherson strut at the front, multi-link rear suspension, dual exhaust tips. My friend, this is a 3-cylinder car, only a single exhaust pipe. The rims are very nice touch. They look like BBS. The car itself looks very nicely, hopefully, and I'm crossing my finger here. I'm really crossing my fingers that please let it drive nicely because it looks very nice. It's automatic. Alright, gear ratios are very nice. Please, oh man. Suspension. Oh my god, the suspension is rubbish. The gearbox is nice, the engine is powerful, but the gearbox, look at the car is keep on shaking. Oh my god, it's uncontrollable. Oh my, oh my god, no, don't crash. No brake lights, and sorry, no reverse lights. Oh, I'm sorry my friend, your car is rubbish. Looks very nice, but the suspension. Is it rear wheel drive or what? Feels like rear wheel drive. Feels like open differential rear wheel drive. In a straight line it's not bad, but don't corner. Steering is very quick and the suspension is just shaking. Oh my god, this is a dangerous car. Although it looks very nice, but it's a dangerous car. And that 3-cylinder, I'm sure it's not giving 300 horsepower, it's giving like 200, but it's a quick car, but the suspension ruins everything. Oh my god, it's not stable, there is no aerodynamics, there is no downforce. Come on, keep it stable. Brake. Oh, no. That's not good. I'm sorry my friend, but this car is out because of the suspension setup. I do apologize, but it's out. Alright, so the Ragnotti, what is this name? Whatever, so this car right now, I'm gonna drive it. I mean, from the first glance, it looks like 1990s car, which is, I think, yes, I think that's the whole problem with it. So, and so what we have here, yes, I have some notes on this car. Unfortunately, it's not a good car because he's using a cheap crankshaft, which is currently is getting destroyed by the high RPM, aluminum silicon block and cylinder heads with expensive internals. Yeah, I think I know what this car uses a forged crankshaft and lightweight titanium connecting rods and lightweight forged pistons, but the forged crankshaft isn't actually, or cannot actually take that much high RPM. Super exhaust size, brake fading, and very low safety. All these points makes this car pretty much unstable. I mean, it looks nice. The suspension is soft, which is not good for track days. It's good for the city, but for track days, no. Understeering and oversteering at the same time. Not a bad touch. I like the tail lights. I like the rear big windows like 1990s Japanese hatchbacks. The middle exhaust seems very nicely. I like the big logo with the car name. Very nice details, but I truly hate the green rims. I mean, dude, come on, keep them alloy. Keep them regular alloy. It should make, or if you want to keep them black, but not green. The car drives nicely. It really does drive nicely. I mean, the high RPM is destroying the crankshaft, which you need to be careful. Like when you buy this car, you need to read the brochure, and I think the brochure should say don't exceed like 8500 RPM, so you don't destroy the crankshaft. Alright, so it's a balanced car, which is nice. The suspension is actually very nice. The car looks good except for the rims. The engine is nicely done, except for the crankshaft bit and the high RPM for no reason. I mean, yes, everyone likes a 10,000 RPM engine, but you need to keep it safe and reliable, not just increase the RPM and hope for the best. Car drives nicely, I'll admit that. It's not a safe car, but it's a fun car to drive. The ratios are perfect. Although I've written that the spacing is actually rubbish, but I don't know. The final drive is sorting everything, or maybe the suspension tune is keeping me from remembering that. Oh, second gear, 100 kilometers per hour. Yeah, I know why. Yeah, long gears. But laggy suspension, laggy engine, and the same mistake that everyone does, which is using I know this is the style these days, which is using a clear plastic cover and orange bulbs, but unfortunately the game count the clear glass as a headlight, which is rubbish. But I truly like the car, and it should be one of the nominees. I'll admit that. What's the name of this little beast here? I forgot. So far so good, right? The Ragnotti, whatever the name of it, sounds like a pasta name. Ragnotti, note T-I, or this. Alright, so this is one of the nominees. So what else we have here? Rally attempt, no. This is Ranger, my god. A Razor Turbo, who sent me that? Who did send me that? A Razor Turbo. This is not a family sports car. This is a sports car. Looks weird from the front. Looks also weird from the rear. Turn on traction control. Ah, automatic. I need 4-door, my friend, not 2-door. And the engine is sorry, yes, the engine is feels underpowered. Maybe the car is heavy. I don't know. Suspension seems nicely done, but it's against the rules to use a 2-door car. I said 4-door. So multi-link suspension in the rear. Brakes are not bad. The engine feels underpowered. Double wishbone front suspension. Alright. And the trunk or the tailgate or whatever you call it handle is on the bumper, so what, you pull that off and what will open? The handle should be moving with the trunk, not separate. Brakes are nicely done. Suspension is understeering. The engine feels really underpowered. What kind of engine is that? Ah, 3-cylinder, that's why. A 3-cylinder turbo. I think 200 horsepower. Not bad. Not a bad sports car. It should be like a cheap sports car because a 3-cylinder engine at the front, 200 horsepower. It's like you know the Toyota, the GT86, a rear-wheel drive fun car with a boxer engine, naturally aspirated. This is like the same sort of idea. A 3-cylinder turbo car, like fun to drive, but this car should have been made rear-wheel drive, so you can enjoy like sliding it around, oversteering, and that's all. But it's not you know in this challenge. It's out of this challenge, and the brakes are fading. So you need to be careful, guys, when building cars. Keep your eyes on everything. Alright, go down. What we have here? So alright, we have this Spark Eco. That's what he called it. And wow, what is that? It's like a minivan with huge rims. Alright, so this car called the Spark is alright. So this one is out of the competition, and I know why, because I've written some of the against the rules. The engine is making less than 300 horsepower, which is against the rules. Wrong differential and the wrong tires. Brake fading so much. 4 seats again, and I said 5 seats. And he said eco, right? It says eco, which you think it will get like what, 30 miles per gallon or what? Unfortunately, it only gets 15 miles per gallon. 15. So it's not an economical car. And let me check something. I don't know. I think. Oh, I remember. Hey, the wrong diff. The wrong diff is what, manual automatic locker. That's what he kept. I think automatic locker. An off-road differential. This dude here made a car with a street car with an off-road differential, an automatic locker. Yep. So yeah, that's not good. It's front-wheel drive, but an automatic locker front differential, which is for off-road usage, not for on-road usage. So it's currently locked because we pressed the button. Alright, so the suspension feels fun because this is the first time ever that I've driven a front-wheel drive car with turbo kicks in. A front-wheel drive car that makes the rear tires to spin, to oversteer. This is the first time. So suspension feels not bad. Oh, sorry about that. So I was looking at the book and smashed the car. Sorry about that. Do apologize. I was looking at the books, reading what kind of options or what kind of mistakes that he made with this car. Alright, and yes, there is the downforce on this car is rubbish on the front. It feels quick because it's super light, but there is no front downforce. Oh my god, no, don't crash again. It's not safe at high speeds. It's a really fun car to drive, but it's against the rules and it's not safe at all. And I ask everyone to make a safe car. A laggy engine with wrong differential, no downforce. And the flames. I mean, it pulls hard, but it's not perfect. It's really fun to drive, but if there was like a little bit of front downforce with the proper like geared limited slip differential and fixing all the mistakes in this car, it would be a perfect car. And remove the flames or whatever that is. Yep. So it's out of the competition, but it's a nice car with many mistakes. So what else we have here? So this one is out. This one is no because this is for the off-road usage. And how many cars we have left? So we have two cars. We have a Resto mod, which is against the rules. It's out like 100%, and the Weenie Automobili. So let's try the Weenie Automobili and tell you what's wrong with this car. This car is also out of the competition, although it looks very nice, but it's out for the current reasons. He's using carbon fiber, which is against the rules. Too much horsepower than what I've asked for everyone to do. Cast iron engine, expensive internals, too much fuel, brake fading, spacing and final drives are rubbish. And all of these things makes this car out of the competition. Super wide tires, wrong compound. Is it wrong compound? I forgot. Maybe it's not a wrong compound, but it's very wide tires with all of these options and all of these wrong things that I've mentioned. But we'll be testing it. And it does understeer hard. The engine is super laggy. It does understeer and oversteers at the same time. The game counts the third brake light as a parking light, which is unfortunate. Car sounds very quiet, but because of the carbon fiber and all of the other things, it's out of the competition. Although it's a nice car. 7th gear. understeers hard and then oversteers a little bit. Brakes are fading, as I mentioned. There's some sort of brake fading because the brakes airflow, like everyone did it, which is the brake airflow. All of these guys are making it like they don't care about the brake airflow. When in the aerodynamics section, there's the engine airflow for the engine cooling, and of course the brakes airflow for the brakes cooling, and everyone ignored the brake airflow. Like someone put it like 20 on it, 15. Some of them kept it on 0, which is not efficient. You need to cool the brakes. Like check it out, the brakes are fading here, and the suspension is understeering. The engine is laggy. I'm sorry, but it's rubbish. You need to keep the RPM. You need to keep the engine revving hard so you can, you know, enjoy the turbo. But when the engine is on low RPM, it's actually rubbish. The brakes are fading because they are super tiny. Check it out, the brakes are. Where are they? What else now we have? So the last but not least, the resto mod, which is our last car to try here, unfortunately. I know this has been a very long video, but this is a resto mod. That means an old car or a classic car with modern parts into it. So we have a modern turbocharged front 4-cylinder engine in the front, double wishbone front and rear suspension. The car is looking nice, but no, it's against the rules in every possible way. But let's drive it and see if this actually works. Understeering a little bit. There is an understeer, and it's all-wheel drive, 15 psi of boost. I like resto mods. Resto mods are amazing. Take a classic car that used to have a rubbish engine, rubbish chassis, and rubbish suspension, and give it an upgrade. Give that car an upgrade, an upgraded engine from a modern car with good power, an upgraded transmission, upgraded suspension, brakes. I like all of this. I like a resto mod. I truly am. Like, I'm currently driving a 1996 Ford Crown Vic with its own original engine and transmission and suspension, and I would really love if I can just like put a Mustang 5.0 engine in it with its own transmission, you know, with the Mustang transmission, and put like a limited slip differential in it, upgraded like wheel brakes, upgraded suspension. I would really love to do that because it seems appropriate. I love this car. I love the shape of it, even if it's like old and like it's from the 90s. It's heavy. It's not a light car. Has a ladder chassis in it made from steel. I know it's not perfect, but I love that car. And I would really love to give it an upgrade. I mean, currently the engine is, I think it's burning a little bit of oil, which is unfortunate. I think so, yeah. I'm measuring the oil like every Friday, and yes, the oil level is decreasing a little bit, which means there is some sort of, you know, oil burning. Of burning oil, but although there's no sign of smoking, the car is not smoking at all. There is no weird smell coming out of the exhaust, but I think, yeah, the engine is starting to give up, and I really wish that I could just slam a 5.0 in it. It would be amazing. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So we have driven all of the cars, and we have settled on four nominees. Let's see, and let's. I want to park all of the cars. I love this Western mod. So a really amazing job on whoever, like for whoever did this car. Really amazing job. But unfortunately, it's out. So our first car, it's the Evoque. Where's the Evoque? Here we go. So the Evoque, replace current. The Evoque i4. And what other car we have here? We have the hatchback. Where is that hatchback? Which one? I forgot. Yep, that's our level here. So which one is the hatchback? That's the hatchback thingy. Yes, the hatchback thingy. Spawn new. And the Polaris RS. Hopefully my video card will not explode. Where's the Polaris RS? Here we go. Spawn new. And the final one is the pasta name, Rigatoni, whatever the name of it. 93% of video card usage on 3 cars. Where is that pasta car, Rigatoni, Riganotti? Where is it? Ah, here we go. Spawn new. So these 4 cars have been nominated by me because I've driven them, and they look and they sound and they drive very nicely. So if I want to pick the first place, it will be this actually. This one, the Evoque, I think. The Evoque? Yes, the Evoque, this one. I think this should be in the first place because it drives nicely, although it has many problems with it. And yeah, the engine is actually using like a race intake manifold, which is against the rules. Or not against the rules, it's not reliable. It will make the engine less reliable. But it drives nicely, it's very balanced, and it's very nice to drive. So in the first place, the Evoque i4. So congratulations to whoever drove or whoever made this beast. Although there are some mistakes with it, like there is indicators on the rear, but the front, nothing. Second place. Yes, you can actually do that. Alright, so second place should be actually this. The Riganotti, whatever the name of it, pasta car. So this will be in second place, the Riganotti Aravis, whatever the name of it. Because it looks very nicely and it drives very nicely, and it definitely deserves like second place because it really looked nice. Although there are some mistakes with it, but we can ignore those mistakes because it drives very nicely. So in first place, the Evoque, or the Evoque. The Evoque, this is first, and the Riganotti is second, and in third place should be. No, let me shut the hell up. So in third place, it should be the Polaris or this one, the hatchback. Well, if it's up to me, let's turn on traction control. I want to test before. Like a couple of corners to see which one will end up in third place. The Polaris or that hatchback thingy. Alright, that's pretty much it for this. before we get on. Alright. Oops. Oh. So yeah, I think we all know which one will be in third place. This one, the hatchback thingy. Although the Polaris looks amazing, but this one is actually much better. I'm sorry to say this for Mr. Polaris or whoever made it, but this one, the hatchback thingy, is actually very nice to drive. I like it. This one will be in third place. So yeah. So congratulations to all of these three guys that made those three cars. I mean, they are not perfect, but from all of the three cars. Oops, we have dangled this car. Let me fix it up. So these will be our three winners. The Evoque in first place, or the Evoque, and the Reginotti in the second place, and the hatchback thingy in third place. So congratulations to you guys, you made truly amazing cars. I'm sorry Mr. Polaris, but yeah. Really nice cars. I want to show you, like, I'm gonna park those cars like so to take up pictures of the three winners as a thumbnail, or whatever you want to call it, for the video. And yes, although those two cars do make like amazing burnouts and donuts, but this one, the Evoque, drove very nicely. So congratulations to you guys, you made hell of a cars, and I'm really happy with the end result here. So thank you so much guys for watching. I know this has been a very long video, but yep, took a little screenshot. Another one here and another one there, and maybe another one from the rear. So congratulations to you guys, these cars are amazing. So thank you so much guys for watching. Please, if you enjoyed the video, remember to hit that like button, to get subscribed if you are new to the channel, and of course to hit that notification bell button so you can get a notification each time I release a new video. And thank you so much. The challenge has ended. Hopefully soon I will be getting back to make my own cars and driving them around, and then maybe a new challenge will come up very soon. So thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now, my friends. And congratulations to all of the guys that made those cars.